Abbagael is going to share with us a few thoughts before we go into our Q&A session. So let's give Abbagael a warm welcome back.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was an incredible story. Thank you so much. I think it's very encouraging to hear even just the heartache that you had to experience with communism, but even more so the encouragement that you have and the impact that you have now. So thank you so much. Duty is ours, results are God's. John Quincy Adams said that, and I'm sure we all know that. But the First and Second Amendment ensure that we can do this in America. I'm going to go back a little bit before the founding of America. The Puritans that came to Plymouth and Massachusetts area, they first established this idea of freedom of religion. Not just that, but freedom of property, free enterprise, limited government. They wanted people to be involved in their community. And that is an important factor of how that sort of freedom was spread in America and foundationally. And that is what the founding fathers, founding mothers, founding generation of Americans, 1776, we're coming up on our 250th anniversary, and I think that's what the founding generation saw. They also knew that the Puritans had come from Europe, also England and Holland and that whole area, but they were being impacted by control for their freedom of religion. The First Amendment says quite a few things, and I want a little bit of an audience engagement. What are some of those things that the First Amendment guarantees? Freedom of religion, speech, assembly, freedom of assembly. We have redress of grievances and petitioning the government, and we have the freedom of the press. All of those things we are exercising right now in this room. And we also have the Second Amendment that protects our right to self-defense. I think something that is important to know is we are not sold over to our politicians. We are sold over to our vision. The vision of what the founding of a constitutional republic. That was a very wise thing that you said earlier. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. Because the first thing that it says in the Constitution is we the people of the United States. That is the sovereignty. The sovereignty is the people. Now, some people might think, oh, that is a democracy. No, it's not. Because we have a structure of government that protects our rights as people, and then we go forth and we bring what we want. So we have those representatives in place. And so it's interesting because I'm in a U.S. history class right now, and our infamous professor, he's actually retiring this year, we were talking a little bit about the distrust of government that has grown. And where did that begin? Where did that begin in government or in the United States, where the citizens started not trusting their government as much to get things done, and where corruption started growing? And I think it was interesting that it started ever since right after the Great Society with Lyndon B. Johnson, where there was an expansion of government and programs, and this idea of limited government just disappeared because the people thought, oh, this is a great idea. We can solve poverty. But they didn't manage the people's expectations. And so what happened was when President Nixon there was a series of issues that took place and scandals that took place in the government where people just absolutely let go. And the trust in the government went down. But unfortunately, what happened also is because of that, the citizens started taking a step back. And we need to know that our First and Second Amendments are a foundation of what we can do in America. So the first thing that I believe is incredibly important for every citizen is education. Take 45 minutes and read the U.S. Constitution. We have September 17th is Constitution Day. Take those 45 minutes once a year, read the Constitution and what your government should be doing with each branch of government, the legislature, the executive branch and judicial branch. Know those things. And I'm preaching to the choir here. We all know what those things should be. But your state also has a constitution. At least get a summary of what that is. I mean, George Mason also wrote the Virginia Bill of Rights. Him and Patrick Henry didn't sign the Constitution. You know why? Because they believed that the Constitution was too large of a government. And so what George Mason did is bringing the Bill of Rights, bringing that power back to the people. And so, but also with your education, start local. And I know that you all know this because you've seen what's been happening with the state legislature, with the Second Amendment right now, with the gun legislation that's been going through. It's crazy. But go to your city council. Go to your school board. Say what you need to say to have your leaders listen to you, because they represent you, not the other way around. And they represent you, and you have that power. Did you know that every city has its own constitution? You have a charter, a city charter. I've looked at my city charter. Back in Sebastian, Florida, I would go to my city council meetings because I knew, and each city council member knew my name. I'm not saying this to be prideful. I'm just saying this is what it takes to know what you have to do. And it takes time. It does. And I know we're all very busy, but taking 30 minutes out of your week to just be an impact in your local community, or an hour every month in your local community, to know what it takes to be involved, so that this is how we gain ground. Because unfortunately, us as citizens, we've lost some of that ground, unfortunately. And it's not about violence, but it's a true knowledge of our foundation. So education, being active, working on campaign teams, and even running for local politics, running for national politics, state politics. And I'm all about the practical. So self-defense is a very, very important thing to me. I've done many gun training. I actually have my license to carry in the state of Texas, which is crazy. Let's go Texas. But now I can carry in my state of Florida because I am 21 now. But I'm grateful that I know how a gun operates, but also how I can protect myself. I am a young lady, and that can be scary sometimes when you're in an uncertain place. But knowing, okay, this is how I discharge the firearm, this is how I actually use it, to the best of my ability, I want to be prepared. Because whatever you think about the war with Iran right now, what did the FBI and CIA say? Beware of sleeper cells. Okay, 2001, my grandfather was a senior construction inspector at the World Trade Center. Okay? We know they're here. We know they're here, and it's from within, and this is what's happening in our nation. It's not about being afraid. It's about what we can do preparing now, and the next generation, very important, like I mentioned before. This is about knowing your place as we, the people. We are sovereign. Then it goes to the states, and then national. And I think a lot of ground needs to be taken back, and I think a lady in particular earlier saying getting the corruption out of Congress, absolutely. It's so much about the younger generation rising up, but we also need to be educated by those who have gone before, right? That knowledge is priceless. And so you have your inspirational impact and influence, whether you realize it or not. Every single step you take, every single word you say, whether you're walking through the grocery store and you see someone, and just strike up a conversation about, why are you proud to be an American? What do you think it means to be an American? What does that mean to you? Do not sit back. You have influence, and I think that those things that the First and Second Amendment guarantee are very important, but you need to know it and do something about it. So thank you so much, and I'm grateful to be here, and it's wonderful that you guys are doing what you're doing, and I know you all are involved, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Abbagael. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here and speaking today. We're going